And hello to another review. I apologize the appearance. It was my birthday yesterday. My lovely wife decided I need hats to fit my outfits. Therefore, she gifted me 5. It's a gift. You have to wear it. I wore it to a restaurant and to the grocery store yesterday just to show her how much I love her and that I do not refuse the lovely gift she gave me. Now I wear it in videos, at least for now. That's the story of the hat. Also, the hat matches the guitar. The guitar today is a JS-400. Now, Jet, I think, is related to flight ukuleles. I think they're from, I don't want to say anything wrong, over there. And for a while now, Andy's shown videos on them. They've been hailed as a good competitor to Harley Benton, and we're gonna check this out. Gonna check it out because that's where they're from. I don't know. So this is a guitar, and that's already stunning, for under 200 euros. I've seen these for about 179, 169, around that range. And the one thing that Benton doesn't have is a typical S-type Strat with HSS. Pretty much what this is, Benton doesn't have, which is really weird. They have the Fusions with that layout, but of course they're already at 400 bucks. Now, at under 200, I find this guitar, on paper, pretty stunning. The rest we'll find out. So on paper, we have a pretty stratty kind of a body with a shaping and a shaping here, but get this, a shaping here and a shaping here. This is almost Ibanez S-type shaping. Rather nice, not a typical neck plate. And you can already see roasted maple. Now, roasted maple was something you bought at like €1,000 because it was the higher spec, nice guitars, more stable neck because of the roasting treatment. Takes more moisture out, I guess. At under 200, that's pretty redonkulous. I will always come back to Benton because I know them by heart. Under 200, I don't think you get a roasted. Maybe on the Jazz Mastery one. I love this. You can already also see that the trem block in there is rather thick. So that's kind of nice. It's not a really thin, I mean, it definitely continues back here. It's not a thin-ass trem block like on most budget instruments. We have a little bit of a cream here, which is kind of nice. I like that they made this black because it just screams 80s and rock and roll, and this has been modified. That's kind of what it looks like. When you look on the website, you get this in a minty green, which is actually rather nice. You get it in a sunburst, in a creamy Olympic white, I think it would be called, in a classic-y kind of pink or shell pink, in a cream white. You get it in black, in this blue, and in red. That's at least what I see on the website. So, chrome hardware, Canadian roasted maple neck, modern C neck. Fretboard is roasted maple or rosewood. In this case, it's roasted maple. And you can see, I mean, not really grain, but that is darker here. It has a nice kind of flow to it. Look. Actually, look in the camera how it changes. That's rather nice. Yeah, you can definitely see some depth in that wood there. 9.5 inch radius, nut width is 1.65. Nut is bone. A bone nut at 169. Hello. Okay, nice. Double action truss rod, 25.5 inch scale, 22 frets, basswood body. HSS ceramic pickups, no manufacturer given. Tremolo, a bridge tremolo. No manufacturer given. The thing is under 200. Always remember it's under 200. 5-way switch as we expect. And that's about it. Out of the box, action was high. I had to adjust the neck. Out of the box, the frets are not polished. They're pretty scratchy. So either give them a once over polishing. If you don't know how to do that, just play the damn thing for a couple of weeks and it's fine. The Bentons in that price range have the same issues. They usually come with scratchy frets. Scratchy? I'm running a fever. I don't know what I'm saying. Scratchy. Not scratchy. It's more ah. Scratchy frets. I'm delirious. But not a big thing. Nothing sticks out. No fret sprout. I love the color. It's matching my hat. Again, on paper, amazing. Scratchy frets. Action was pretty high. Comes with 9s. It feels a little bit tinny and thin to me because I'm used to 10s, but that is strings, and so who cares? Just put whatever strings you want on there. Non-staggered tuners. and non-locking tuners. I will tell you right away, one of the weak points of this guitar are the tuning heads. They are not precise. You have to go down, up, down, and then they have a little bit of a give. Then again, the guitar is let's call it 179. For $39, you get Harley Benton branded OEM locking tuners. So you're just over 200, and then you can put locking tuners on this thing. I don't know if on their website, I don't see any accessories. So go to Thomann, get yourself some Harley Benton locking tuners, and then you're still at a very low budget. I would absolutely recommend putting different tuners on there. The other issue is a guitar in this price range with a up and downy trem. I'm sorry, this is not going to be usable. And people say it's all about the setup. Yes, that is true. It is all about the setup, but it is also all about the thing that is set upable, meaning the bass needs to be there. So this is right now floating, if any camera can actually catch that. So you can see I can go up a bit and down a bit. I would recommend pulling the strings back here, because there's 3 springs, so tight that it actually sits on the body, and then you can only do down tunings, and then actually getting rid of this. And just, I highly doubt that it's going to be stable enough to really be a good does wiggle sticking, as Ryan would say. So let's see, what I just did might probably already have detuned it. This is secret, can't show it yet. So let's see. And that already was too much. You know what? Let's take the time in this video and do what I just recommended. We're gonna go fasty on it, but we're gonna actually get this trem to sit on the body. That's recommended from this guy. Now that it's not floating anymore and firmly sitting on the top and only allows for down bends, it is easier to tune and hopefully goes out of tune less. Let's try this. Much less severe detuning than we had before. Before, it was pretty much not really usable. It just wasn't staying in the same position. It's a 2-point system, so not vintage with the 6 kind of screws on it. But that, you can see I can still operate it. I can still get some Das Wiggelen in there. But nobody gets the Das Wiggelen. Wiggles, detunings. It's not tremolo. Tremolo is actually volume up and down. This is pitch up and down, which is technically vibrato. So it's technically a vibrato, but we've had this discussion a million times. And why would you take any advice from a guy wearing that hat? I have no idea. So now all that we got to say is maybe they work. Put in $40, put better ones on it. By getting this on the guitar, you're good. I love that it's a Strat, but it is a modern one because you have the input here. You don't have it on the guitar. I like that. I prefer that. And you have tone and volume, not volume, tone, tone. It is a modernized version of that classic guitar. Kind of like my Nick Johnston is with input here and only 2 knobs. I like it. So now we're going to get some sounds from the Tone King and some other amps. And of course, you're going to say, why are you going to send a €179 guitar into all these high-end amps. And that's very simple. If I'm using a very cheap-ass amp, around the €150 mark, and mic that, you're going to say that sounds bad. But then why does it sound bad? Because the amp sounds bad or the guitar sounds bad? You have no indication where the weak spot is. Whatever you're testing should be the weakest thing in the chain so that you can really identify what it sounds like. So therefore, I'm testing this with high-end equipment. It makes a lot of sense scientifically. Otherwise, you have no idea why the sound isn't great. Now, of course, it's not going to sound as great if you're going to plug this into a practice amp, a little transistor amp, whatever. But that's then up to you what you're going to pair it with. Okay, so into the Tone King, into the aux with a 412 Creamback loaded cab. In between, we have less hum. There's a lot of hum here because I'm sitting right in front of a screen, and that's just what happens. Now we've got these two together, and that gives you a nice hollow sound because they have something about phase. This one. These two. In the middle, very few people use that. In the back, we have, again, that out of phase sound, but the beautiful, more beautiful than the front. If you put some delay on it from a pedal we cannot reveal, and then it's got a humbucker in the back, which is great because you don't have that really thin single coil sound. There's no push-pull or anything for any single coil switch for this. It really stays the same in terms of volume. Nicely balanced there. I'm going to give you some rockin' sounds with the Morgan MVP66, which is the JTM style classic rock amp. go to Marshall JCM800, the classic rock beast if there ever was one, which is all the way on the outside to the right. That big behemoth, 100 watts, and that's the rock and roll. This guitar doesn't have massive output. Everything is still controllable. I don't think it's going to be the metal axe. I mean, I don't think that's what it's made for. Since we fixed the tremolo to the top of the guitar, it is quite a bit more stable. Let's go to more high gain sounds, which would be the Soldano SLO100. That's an amp clocking in at, I think, over $4,000 now or something. It's a reference amp. So here we go. One of the tricks is go into the in-between position in the back and roll back the tone all the way, and you get a little bit of the Brian May honk. And we're going to put on some delay past the amp, after the amp. Okay, there we are. This is the JS-400 from Jet. My first reaction was like, looks great, but wasn't really fun to play. I did lower the action a bit by tilting the neck with the supplied wrench into this hole there. You should probably have a qualified technician do that, and not me, because I don't know how to set up guitars. And of course, the tuning stability was poo-poo. So by actually just doing what you saw me do, tightening the strings with the two screws in the back and putting the tremolo on the top, we improved the tuning stability quite a bit. Playability is great now. The sounds are there. To me, it feels as if I put 10s on there, I get a little bit more meat, but maybe that's just the feel in the fingers, the finger feel. I wish it had better tuners. They do the job now if you kind of know what you're doing. You could see I was pretty quick there with the D and the E detune, but for $40 you get a better set of tuners from Harley Benton. For a little bit more you get a better set of tuners from a different brand. Visually, yes. HSS, yes. Only 2 knobs, yes. Jack here, yes. Roasted maple, look at this neck, yes. The shapings, did I already say this? As with most of the guitars in this price range, you're gonna have to spend half an hour to an hour with them when they arrive. So, is it a great beginner guitar? No, the beginner should go and have it set up. Is it an amazing mod platform? I think absolutely. I have to say, with these shapings, the HSS, the roasted maple in this price range, Harley Benton, which I'm very familiar with, has a massive competitor now on the market. There are, of course, other guitars. I tested a new brand from Guitar Pusher in the Philippines, which were great and also in this price range. I know there's Tajima, there's Sound something from Sound System, no, Sound, whatever, from Italy. So I hope I get to look at more of them. I hope I get to look at more of the Jet guitars because they have beautiful ones with flame tops, and they have guitars up into the 500-600s, I think. And if this is already ticking so many boxes at that price range, then let's get one with locking tuners, which they have. Let's get one with a nice maple top and all that, and really see what they have to offer. Now, I was paid by them to make this review, but as you can clearly tell, if you've made it this far, it was a review, and I didn't hold back. I held back on the visuals, because who wants to see that? But that's, I'm sorry, I hope you closed your eyes. Now, first reaction was, and now that I'm playing these sounds, I'm like, depending on what it is, yeah, record with this, not a problem. Record an album with this. Why not? Took a bit of work, but that's it. I'll put links to wherever you can get them below. Thanks, Lee, for commissioning this video. Thanks, Jet Guitars, for listening to Lee. And thanks, Leslie, for the hat. It means the world to me. And we're gonna go animals at the end.